in the span of a few weeks, unleashed the greatest assault on the First Amendment since the Red Scare, while insisting that they are restoring freedom of speech. The censorship industrial complex is a thought-terminating, gaslighting cliche that attempts to portray the most powerful people in the United States as oppressed and silenced. The current president of the United States is ordering lawful residents to be surveilled, kidnapped, and expelled from the country because of their speech. He is attempting to dictate what words people are allowed to use, what educational institutions are allowed to teach, what values businesses are allowed to promote. He is calling for critics and dissenters to be imprisoned and assaulted. He is threatening journalists, students, judges, lawyers, religious leaders, governors, anyone he deems insufficiently loyal and insufficiently obedient. Trump's message could not be clearer. You either say what he wants you to say or you will be punished. This is an attitude of a king and not a president.
Whoa, that is super chilling. But it's all true. Dr. Marianne Franks is a civil rights attorney and a scholar at George Washington University. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. I kind of felt sick to my stomach when she was running through the litany of horrors there. But what she's saying is true, and it's all happening right now. The Trump authoritarian regime is now kidnapping lawful residents like Rümeysa Öztürk, a Turkish PhD student at Tufts University who was here on an F1 student visa when a cadre of alleged cops, they never really identified themselves, snatched her off the streets as she was on her way to meet friends.
Yep, we're going to take it right to the cover. Come on, I'll show you everything. Okay, sure. Yep, we're fine.
I understand you. I understand it's scary. We're the police. We're the police.
We're the police.
Yeah, you don't look like me. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
Yeah. Take everything. Yep, I'm going to take it back.
Yeah, we're going to take one.
According to her attorney, Öztürk is now in a Louisiana detention center where she was moved despite a federal court order for the government not to remove her out of Massachusetts. Again, according to her attorney, the Trump regime has no proof that she committed any crime, but the Department of Homeland Security released a statement accusing Öztürk of, quote, engaging in activities in support of Hamas, without sharing any evidence of that, according to the Washington Post. DHS said that, quote, supporting terrorists is grounds for visa termination. What Rümeysa Öztürk did do was call on Tufts University to divest itself from companies tied to Israel's government, but nowhere did the Trump regime present any proof that she is tied to Hamas or any other terrorist organization. Well, thousands of students gathered in Somerville the other night to protest her disappearance.
We need to call what happened to Rümeysa what it is: state-sanctioned political kidnapping.
It was just really disturbing and brought home the crisis that we're seeing across the country.
I mean, I cannot believe that this is what's going on in my fucking country right now. Like, what the hell? She must be terrified. Here she is studying as a PhD student on a valid visa, and boom, out of nowhere, disguised agents snatch her, and she's imprisoned 2,000 miles away. Her visa now terminated. And then we have cosplay cowgirl in chief, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, this time doing her cosplay down in a horrible death camp in El Salvador.
And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
As John Favreau of Crooked Media noted, he's deporting legal residents, he's deporting foreign students, and he's sending people to a foreign prison known for torture and starvation. Not to their home countries, to prison, with no due process, no trial, no judge or lawyer, no way to contact them. The second highest court in the country has told Trump to stop. He has decided to defy the courts instead. Here is Tim Miller of The Bulwark lamenting the kidnapping of Venezuelan hairdresser Andres Hernandez, who was also seeking political asylum here in the U.S. and who never showed up at his court date when his attorneys noticed he was missing, and then put two and two together along with a photojournalist for Time magazine and realized that he too had been swept up by ICE and sent to that hellscape in El Salvador. And now his own attorney can't reach him.
In a hotel, but I couldn't sleep last night after seeing the photos of Andre, the gay Venezuelan that we have been reporting on, who was sent to the El Salvador prison camp to be beaten with no due process. We finally get to see what he looks like. And let me ask you, does this man look like a member of Tren de Aragua? Does he look like a gang member? Look at this person. Is this fucking West Side Story? What do you mean? This guy is a dangerous gang member? This guy was so dangerous that our government had to send him on a plane with no due process to a dystopian hellscape where he was beaten, where he was crying for his mother, according to reports from Time. Look at this person. This is a man. His name is Andre. This is a gay man who deserves at minimum his day in court. He fled the communists to come. Remember, we used to be that shining city on the hill. We used to be a beacon for freedom. He fled communism for freedom. And what we have done to him is despicable. It is evil. And anyone that is involved with it is evil. Please contact your representatives.
In The Guardian, they just had an excellent profile on several of Venezuelan men who are now missing. They were also seeking political asylum in the United States, which is legal, which is constitutionally legal for you to seek political asylum in America. The Trump regime is now just kidnapping these men and sending them to this death camp in El Salvador, in many cases because they didn't like their tattoos. They're like, oh, this tattoo looks like a gang tattoo. Again, without due process, without legal representation. Like this is just like, I feel like I'm reading something out of a Kafka novel. Just horrifying stuff, and again, it's illegal. Their attorneys cannot find them, and Trump continues to defy and push the boundaries of federal judge Jeb Boasberg, who told him to stop it. As Robert Reich noted, if Trump can disappear green card holders for protesting war, he can disappear you. If he can disappear visa holders for criticizing him, he can disappear you. If he can disappear asylum seekers for tattoos, he can disappear you. We must speak out now before there is no one left to speak out. And this is an incredibly important point because I see all of the MAGA cult people on social media. Woo, this is great deterrent. No, because what Trump and his regime are doing is patently illegal. If they can do that to those people, if that's what they're doing, then you are next on that list, because the day will come when you're protesting, when your Social Security, you're unable to get, which is what they're working on now, your Medicaid, your moms, your pops, or whatever. There's going to come a day when you are pissed off at Trump about something, and now you're a dissenter. Now you're speaking out against him, and then now you're on the list. See how that works? That's what authoritarian regimes do. So it's just the same thing as the Nazis did. And when I use the word Nazi, I am not using it it lightly. I am using it as a historical reference of what Trump and his regime are carrying out. This is a playbook that they have carefully put together, and now they are marching out the orders of a dictatorship. And all of these morons who are laughing and cackling about it on social media don't realize that they are the target. And what Trump is doing is patently illegal, and it is critical that we and the millions and millions of us who are in the majority, because the Trump cult is the minority, and Trump knows it. That's why he's right now trying to rig elections. Like, that's a whole nother take about what Trump is currently, again, illegally trying to write executive orders where he's just going to say, oh, no, elections won't work that way anymore. That's, again, illegal. He can't just write executive orders with his stupid magic marker and say, oh, that's illegal. Again, you can't do that. That's against the law. And we need to shout this from the mountaintops all day, every day, from this network to all of our friends, to every pro-democracy media outlet out there, to local news, to the freaking legacy media. I don't know if they're ever going to get out of their coma. Maybe about now they're starting to wake up, but we cannot normalize this. Call your representatives all the time. Remind them that we are now in a fight for the life of this nation. We are in a fight for the life of this nation. We have to take it back. What we have now is a completely inept, illegal, criminal clown show in the White House. What we have are criminals, and they should be treated as pariahs on the world stage. None of this should be normalized. So I implore all of the people who are watching around the world, God bless you, this should not be normalized. I hope your world leaders do not normalize this. I know Canada's been great, but like everyone, like in the UK and Australia and France and all of Europe, like this should not be normalized. Every time Marco Rubio gets off a plane, or freaking Kristi Noem, like they're cozying up to dictatorships. So the rest of the free world should not be treating this regime as normal. Take a look at this picture. I love this picture so much. This is the way that you treat people who step all over human rights. You do not welcome them in. You don't cozy it up and, high five it and send your freaking like envoys like Witkoff over to the Kremlin, like with all of the, private information on their phones. You treat them like this. And if you're listening, it's a photo of President Barack Obama just laying into the evil Vladimir Putin. And you can see in the photo that Vladimir Putin is cowed. He's cowed. He knows he can't get away with his insane, cruel, dictatorial bullshit with President Obama. And he couldn't get away with it with President Biden either, nor any other president in recent history, or anyone until we got this criminal and convicted felon in the White House. So again, let's remember that this is not normal, that we are in completely insane times, and we have to stand up to this with all of our might, So call your reps, let your friends know, hey, this isn't normal. Get in the streets, as I say. Phone bank, join up. There's so many things going on right now. Get involved. We've got elections that we can flip and take back the House that are just, you guys, I am passionate about this because my country is on the line, and I didn't grow up in a nation that looked like this, and I don't want to leave my country. I don't want to go out of this world living in a dictatorship. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Follow me on my socials. I'll attach them in the description below. And you guys, we're all in this together. We truly are. And I hope to see you back here soon. And remember, righteous anger is a good thing. And boy, we have the right to be incredibly pissed off right about now. All right. Peace.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.